This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about Dave Grohl. The news broke yesterday. It's pretty big confession, Dave. Pretty big confession.
You know what? It's rocked me a bit.
Pardon the
that's
pun?
just not a pun. It's just, I don't know. I look at Dave Grohl. I look up to Dave Grohl.
Why are you
He's-
surprised?
Because I see the way that he talks about his daughters, and I see him as a father and a loving father. And I've read his book, The Storyteller, and I think that he's got great morals and values. He's been around, you know what? He's
Can
a rock
tell
star.
a story, yeah.
He's a rock star. So he spoke about how he partied a bit when he was younger, but in that sense, he's always been, really good and done the right thing, and he's looked after himself. But I didn't see it coming.
I think there was a lot of things floating around in the news yesterday that there was a big part of the community who may have been waiting for this to happen, who kind of knew that this was the behaviour over a long period of time, that there were signs and there were stories, and that there's a sense of relief that, well, finally the guy who has presented so well, like you're saying, Fitz, and this is just hearsay and what I've read, and that they're kind of like, well, finally he's actually not that guy.
Well, I mean, it doesn't change his love for his family and his kids, does it?
Of course it doesn't. No.
I mean, there's...
But
Well, does
the
it?
healing process now, and do you think the Instagram post was part of you need to own this? That's the wife and the family saying you need to own this?
You know what I actually thought this morning? My first thought this morning about this was, this has probably been on the cards for a while. The announcement has had to be made.
Yep.
And very carefully, they decided to release the news of the love child on the day of the debate in the US, because there's a much bigger news story floating
that
around.
too.
And
I
it will
didn't
be
even
buried.
Yeah, what a
Think of
perfect day to
It's-
release a story like
Don't
this.
think that has not been considered.
Completely
And
overshadowed.
And also Josh Addo-Carr. They've obviously
Exactly.
timed it for that
timed it.
moment. That was
Exactly.
smart.
And us doing $100,000 a minute.
We timed that as well, really badly. Here's the thing, though, as we talk about this, and we touched on it yesterday. So his wife, Jordan Blum is her name.
Not Plum.
Blum.
Just one plum?
They've been just the one plum. They've been together for over 20 years, right? So we understand that. And a girlfriend, Tina Brash, I think her name is, she has come out and she said, well, I dated him for a very long time, and he was very busy in his career.
She was the skateboarder or the
She was a snowboarder.
pioneered the
Yes.
female
They were
snowboarding.
I thought they were married, Whip.
No,
No?
no, I don't think
He
so.
has been married before.
Yeah, but I think that might be Louise Post, who was the Veruca Salt singer, because
Okay,
that was
gotcha.
another previous lover who she's come out and over time and has declared him one of the great cheats.
Oh, no.
So she said that music came first and Dave's lifestyle came first as well, and that she wasn't really a priority. So he was cheating on me at the time, and I was publicly falling apart on stage.
Can I throw a moral dilemma at you?
Okay.
Do you think anyone would have known of this? What was
this,
happening?
Oh, yeah.
If the baby didn't arrive.
Yes, because those quotes from the ex-girlfriend who was the snowboarder,
Yep.
they were written in her book, which was released years ago. So at the time,
Yeah,
that obviously,
that's true.
I don't know whether that news was floating around or it just didn't get traction. It's just that because the baby's been announced, the press have trawled through everything that's been said previously. This woman hasn't come out now and
No.
said this. This is stuff we've already
Have
known.
a listen to this, Kate Ritchie. She said, I didn't know, this is Tina, this is the snowboarder, I didn't know how anybody in his profession could have a normal relationship with a girlfriend, or two, as it turns out. She said, I found out about Grohl's alleged infidelity secondhand through the grapevine, and it felt like everybody else in the world knew about it but me.
Which can be the worst thing, really, being treated like a fool.
I would suggest we might actually hear a few more stories that come out about Dave.
I Googled this morning.
How
First thing
many?
I
How many you
Googled,
got?
Dave Grohl, because I was waiting for someone else.
Yeah. Well,
I got many more confessions than me.
I'm not surprised. TMZ and that you would have to be thinking they would have to find out who the who the mistress is, wouldn't they?
God. Well, I would think so. You mean the mother of the baby?
Yes.
Yeah, I would assume that's the hunt to try and work out the link there.
There'll be a few phone calls being made madly. Do you know this person? What have you got? We've got some cash.
I mean, this happens outside of the celebrity world, in everyday life. How did you find out there was another baby?
The love child.
A love child,
love
yeah.
child.
How did you find out there was someone else and a baby had been conceived?
Yeah.
Amarden, hello.
Hello.
You got a story here for us.
Yes, I do.
What happened?
Very similar. So I was married with my husband, and we had a daughter, which was amazing. And when she was about 9 months old, I got a call, and it was another woman, which actually my husband had an affair with her at the same time. We were conceiving a daughter, so she had a son, which was the exact same age as my daughter, because their due date were 2 days apart.
Oh, no way.
Gosh.
That would have been a
Martin.
very busy period for him.
Did you find out that, was he at the other birth? Did he get to the other birth without you knowing, Martin?
To be honest, I don't know, because he was working night shift at the time, and our daughter ended up being born a bit early. So I don't know if he was at work or if he could have gone. I actually have never had the detail for that.
So you must have been in shock when you got this phone call. How did you react? Did you say this can't be true, or?
To be honest, it did feel true straight away. I think from his character, it made sense.
Right, you thought he may have been that kind of guy, did you?
Well, I was hoping not, but when she did call me and tell me the story, I was just like, yeah, okay, I can see it happen. So as I said, he was working night shift, so it was easy to go around.
Yeah, and then what happened? You have a phone call like that. What happens with the relationship and the children that have been born?
Oh, well, it's obviously the relationship can't really survive. At least for us, it didn't survive.
Yeah.
We couldn't get past such a terrible thing. So, we ended up separating.
Right. Did he have an excuse, Martin? What was his first response?
There was no first response. He was just trying to convince me to stay instead of talking about what happened.
Right.
Yeah, but his excuse was just like, I wasn't sending good morning texts and things like that, so he felt lonely, so he felt like talking to someone.
Was your fault, was it?
Yes, well, of course it was my fault.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you drove him there.
Yeah, 'cause you didn't send a
drove
good
him
morning
away.
text.
Of course. That makes complete sense.
And was he on tour at the time as well, Martin? What band was he a part of? Or no, he wasn't a rock star?
It wasn't. Maybe the same band, I don't know.
Yeah, and are you okay now? How old is your child?
She's about 2.5 years old now.
Oh,
so,
bless her.
Yeah, I'm trying to rebuild my life after.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Groove Martin, that's not easy.
Oh, that's not bad.
No,
Can we
it's-
play a
it's
bit of
not.
Groove Martin, Tom? No, or no? No, we can't do that.
Can we not?
So now, what is the relationship? So what I need to work out is Dave Grohl's wife and children. This will take a while to heal.
Oh,
but
yeah.
do you have a relationship with the mother and the daughter, or the baby that's coming into the world?
Well, I think the post yesterday suggested he would try and coordinate the whole thing.
Coordinate. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Don't you think that would be hard?
It's going to take a bit of coordination and management. I would imagine. I just hope everyone's okay. But I think there's some tough and tricky conversations to be had.
Sort that out. Better him than me.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.